Well, welcome everybody in the chat room. Let's get going in three, two, one.
Dwarves and gnomes, orcs and trolls, space goats and cowmen. Gather round goblins and pandas, elves of all persuasions, and humans, feral, domesticated, or formerly deceased.
This is my brother I was telling you.
The Nerd Gatherum welcomes
Oh, the brother?
to the Dark Moon Herald. Come, be thrilled by Warcraft news, astonished by patch note blues, and enraptured by those tantalizing Tauran moves. Enter my Azerothian friends, and enjoy.
Horde and Alliance, vets and noobs, welcome to the Dark Moon Herald, where we talk about all that is happening in this circus known as Warcraft. I am your Ringmaster Kevin, and joining me at the crack of dawn, sadly because Rodney is out with the flu and Rev is still on maternity leave, there is no permanent co-host with us this morning, but that is not going to bring this show down. No, because heralding from the Great White North, she brings the... Wow. And by grabbing the... But she swears she's going to keep our show family friendly. It is this from Lagging Balls. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine. I don't remember swearing to keep your show family friendly, though. I don't remember. I don't remember agreeing to that.
I think it was also when you said because you were at the party.
Oh, gotcha.
And, yeah, you agreed
Right.
to many, many things.
I did. I mean, I don't remember, but okay, yeah.
It's okay, I'll have it recorded. It'll be in the bloopers at the end of this show. But in reference, I was able to meet this in person. It was very honored to do so at the Convert to Raid party at this last BlizzCon. And though she didn't know it, I often saw her walking around with her Convert to Raid jersey all throughout the Blizzard convention. I'm like, oh, there's this, there she goes. I'm like, I really need to talk to her. There she goes. But I was very excited that we were able to sit down and talk for, just a couple brief moments at the CTR party. And
that was nice. That was nice meeting you.
Well, thank you very much. I was very, very
You're very
excited.
persuasive, turns out.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the show. We'll get more into who is this, why is she so awesome later. But before we do all of that fun stuff, we do have to ask that time-old tradition of the question, what has grabbed your attention in Warcraft this week, Fist?
This week, I would have to say the BG bonus week. It's probably my favorite of the bonus weeks. The BGBW, if you will. Are you partaking in that?
No, actually, I haven't been able to jump in on any of the bonus week content except for the World Quest. I've had a lot of the... I've basically set a bucket list now that 7.3 is out, and I have been solely focused on getting through all of that. So it's... I've been doing a lot of alt play, making sure that I get all these different collections and stuff like that. And I haven't been able to jump into the PvP aspects yet of Legion. But it's on the bucket list. It's just a little bit farther down.
Yeah, that's totally cool. I used to be like that completely. But it's cool that the bonus weeks sort of encourage you and give you that extra incentive to maybe do some things you wouldn't normally do so much during the week. So,
yeah.
I mean... I would do BG, like I do BGs all the time, but this is nice because it also encourages my friends who aren't usually that inclined to PvP with me to PvP, so it's nice.
Nice. Yeah, every time I see the BG bonus week, I go, you know what, I need to get into Battlegrounds. And I did a couple weeks ago on my Rogue, and I thought, as a Panda Rogue, on Alliance side, because Alliance always wins BGs. I know, sacrilege to say, but I remember back in Warlords, it was pretty, fervent that the Alliance would win. almost all the time. Maybe it's because I sucked or my team sucked, mainly or probably because I sucked. But I wasn't able to get through, and so I was like, "That's okay, you know. I'm gonna get on my panda. I'm gonna disappear and then stab people and do all that fun stuff." And it turns out PvPing on a rogue is not easy, like at all.
Yeah.
People can see through my stealth. I don't know how. But
I mean,
yeah.
Are you sure you were actually invisible, or
I hit stealth.
maybe
So-
you couldn't see you, but everybody else could? Maybe you weren't like actually looking at the screen.
Oh, hold on. Is it possible that if I close my eyes in real life, does that make my character invisible in game?
Does it make you invisible in real life? Because that kind of works the same way.
Yes, that's what I thought. So maybe that was my problem. We'll see. But that's excellent that you're able to get in the BGs and get the extra bonuses from there. As far as my week in WoW, I was really focusing in on, I mentioned on the last episode how I now have all the class mounts, so I was able to finish all of the different class mount campaigns. So that's very exciting. And my next stop was to get all the artifacts done.
Whoa.
And that took me about a night. So that did not take me long at all. And so I was like, shoot, okay, next goal. And that was to get exalted with all the races. So at that point, I need the only factions that I'm not exalted with are on and Taurus. Argus. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah, on Argus. And
Same thing, really.
Yeah, exactly. So I was doing a lot of the world quests out on Argus, focusing on my shaman. And then also, when I didn't have world quests with that, practicing tanking again on my demon hunter to try to then get into like the mythic dungeons and stuff like that.
Cool.
So
I love a good demon hunter tank. I just love a good tank in general. I went into a high key last night, and the first thing I hear is, "Hey, I'm not usually a tank, but I'm practicing." And I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome! Like, good for you! Like, we could always use more tanks. Like, the world can always use more tanks."
They really
and everybody's
can.
like, "Yeah," but then when he said he was new, like he must have started a few days ago, so it was a bad situation. I appreciate what he was trying to do, but he ended up just wasting everybody's time, really. Like, he just didn't really understand the mechanics. I think it was Ivashara. And it didn't go anywhere. And it was bad. But I think if you're going to practice being a tank, maybe work on some lower keys first. Just a suggestion.
Yeah. Just really quick, guys in the chat room, we do try to keep it family friendly. If this is your first time to the show, you may or may not know that. I don't usually have any rules in the chat room, but we do try to keep it family friendly so that anybody can join in. Okay, so don't mind conversations going on, but if we could please keep the profanities out of the chat room, I really would appreciate that. Okay, sorry. Back to the show. See, now I'm completely distracted.
Hey, it's all good. That's what show notes are for.
Right. Let the 10 seconds kick in. All right. You have some fans in the chat room, BT Dubs.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay, and speaking of things that we should probably practice, coming up in this episode of the Dark Moon Herald, we will be discussing how we would make the Alliance races OP in the center ring. We'll delve into why we deserve to be in the sideshow of Suck this week. Fist will become sated in bloodlust or heroism. We'll have your responses to answers. This will help you reach out and grab that brass ring in the carousel of mounts, and we will explore our creative and fabulous sides in Project Silvermoon. But first we must stop the presses and bring up the headlines for the Weekly Herald.
It is time, my friends, for the Weekly Herald, where we will present the latest and greatest news under the big top of Azeroth. And now, Ringmaster Kevin.
Remember, this Weekly Herald is brought to you by Nerd Gatherum Entertainment, reminding you to gather up your movies, your books, your articulated action figures, because down here, we're all nerds. Now, there hasn't been a lot of news since the huge break over the holidays, a lot of rehashing of what's coming up in 7.3.5. So I wanted to take a second and discuss with you, Thist, who you are an active, awesome raider in game. You are often the host on the Convert to Raid podcast, so we know you know your stuff. So if we could just step on over to Noxic really quick and take a look at the DPS rankings. Where is everybody measuring out right now in game? What are your thoughts as far as the balance across all the DPS classes so far in game?
At first glance, it looks pretty even. I don't see like all of the mages at the top, which is, discouraging a little bit considering I only play mage, but whatever. But I can definitely agree with Fury Warrior being at the top and Subtlety Rogue. Like every rogue I've been in anything with lately has just been making me feel embarrassed about my performance, honestly. But that's good. I mean, you always want high DPS on your side. So, but yeah, I'm not surprised to see Warriors at the top. They've been pretty strong for a while now. Like I remember, I think when Entrance came out, everybody was switching over to Warrior, which I'm happy about. But yeah, and then the Enhancement Shaman, I don't know, it all makes sense really, except for the Frost Mage thing, because I'm Fire Mage right now, and I usually completely destroy Frost Mages in the DPS charts. But that might be just a me thing, because I make it like my personal business to make sure I'm the best mage in like everything that I do. Doesn't always work out, but it's nice to have a goal.
Nice. I'm just excited that a shaman class is so high on the charts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that has almost never happened in my 12 years of playing shaman.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It is very rare that you'll see enhancement or elemental near the top of the charts. So, I'm very excited to see that. Also, it's like Subtlety Rogue is up there, Frost Mage, these are all the classes that I've come to really, really enjoy in Legion. So I'm very excited that they're up there in the charts. Though I am, even on my best day of the shaman, I am getting nowhere close to what Affliction Lock is possibly doing with the 968,000 DPS.
Yeah.
So I think on the last raid that I jumped into on a normal and Taurus raid, I was on my shaman, I was pulling just shy of about 800,000. So
that's okay. It's respectable.
It's serviceable, especially since my gear is around that 915. It's not nearly around the 950. Oh my God, whatever you were bragging about before the show.
Oh yeah, I'm at like eye level 954 at this point. I think my lowest piece is a 925, and they're hands, and like no hands will drop. Like, yeah, no hands dropped at all this week or last week, and it's vexing me. I can't stand it. But I did get that trinket, and I've upgraded it a few times, so that helps out too.
Yeah. I think one of the main things that I need to do is, because I was split so much across my alts, is that I haven't been able to upgrade the artifacts the legendaries that I currently have. So I'm still sitting with 940 legendaries instead of having the sweet 1000s. So
yeah.
Then I probably don't even have the best in slot legendaries, but yeah.
That's okay. I mean, I don't know. I've been like, my raid leader is also Fire Mage, so he's really into min-maxing for every single boss. Like, and I'm Historically, that hasn't been my